Hello everyone, I am Tarık Çelik. Together with Metehan Alpay and Yiğit Sağlam, we will cover the subject of chivalry in the Middle Ages in this video project of the History of Civilization 101 course. First of all, I will explain what chivalry is and how it emerged. Then Metehan will tell about the lifestyles of the chivalries and Yiğit will explain the effects of chivalry. Chivalry is a complex and multifaceted concept that emerged during the Middle Ages in Europe. It represents a code of conduct and a set of values and behaviors expected from knights and nobility. At its core, chivalry encompasses a specific code of conduct that outlines the expectations and ideals for knights. This code emphasized virtues such as bravery, honor, loyalty, courtesy, justice, and generosity. Knights, as members of the nobility, were expected to embody these virtues in their actions and interactions. Chivalry also encompassed the principles of courtly love, which added aromatic and idealized dimensions to the code. The concept of chivalry was deeply influenced by the feudal social structure of the time, the role of knights in warfare, and the ideals of Christianity. It permeated all aspects of knights' life, from their behavior on the battlefield to their interactions in social and courtly settings. Chivalry's legacy can be seen in the literature, art, and social norms of the medieval period, shaping the ideals of knighthood and nobility and leaving a lasting impact on European culture. Chivalry began to emerge in the 11th century in Western Europe, particularly in France and England. It evolved as a response to the changing nature of warfare and social structures during that time. Feudalism was a dominant social and economic system during the Middle Ages. It was characterized by a hierarchical structure where land was granted by lords to vassals in exchange for military service and loyalty. Knights, as the armed warriors of the feudal system, played a crucial role in this arrangement. Knights, initially horse-mounted warriors who provided military service to their lords, gradually gained social prominence and formed a distinct class within the feudal society. As knights became more influential, they began to adopt a code of conduct that distinguished them from the other warriors. Christianity played a significant role in shaping the values and ideals of chivalry. The church also encouraged knights to channel their martial skills towards noble causes, protecting the weak and defending the church itself. The religious framework provided a moral guidance and reinforced the principles of chivalry. Chivalry found expression in the popular literature and romances of the time, such as the Arthurian legends and the tales of Charlemagne. These stories depicted noble knights and their adventures, inspiring real-life knights to strive for similar ideals of honor, courage, and loyalty. The emergence of chivalry occurred during a period of intense warfare in Europe. Feudal lords fought for territory, power, and resources, leading to frequent conflicts. Knights played a vital role in these battles, often serving as military leaders and commanders. The Crusades were a series of religiously motivated military campaigns launched by Western European Christians to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. The Crusades influenced the ideals of chivalry as knights viewed themselves as defenders of Christianity and engaged in acts of piety. The courts of nobles and aristocrats were important centers of cultural and social life during the Middle Ages. Chivalry became linked with courtly culture, where knights sought to impress their lords, participate in tournaments, and engage in courtly love. The feudal society was characterized by a strict hierarchical structure. Chivalry served as a means for knights to establish and maintain their social status. adhering to code of chivalry helped knights distinguish themselves from common warriors and gain recognition among their peers and superiors. Knights often had positions of authority and served as military advisors to nobles and kings. Their adherence to the chivalric codes influenced concepts of justice, governance, and the relationship between rulers and their subjects.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to talk about committed lifestyles of chivalry and the values they held sacred. Within the span of next 2 to 3 minutes, we will explore their sense of service, the theme of courtly love, and the extreme training skills they've gone through. Chivalry is a way of life embodied to a noble code that required knights to carry the values of courage, honor, and loyalty. Their purpose was to protect the weak, defend the innocent, and serve their lords with complete dedication. The chivalric code required knights to exhibit qualities such as bravery in battle, respect towards women, and humility in victory. Their sense of service extended beyond the battlefield and into their everyday lives, shaping their interactions and decisions. Furthermore, one of the most captivating aspects of chivalric lifestyle was the enchanting theme of courtly love. In medieval times, courtly love celebrated the spiritual connection between knights and noble ladies. It stands for admiration, devotion, and the pursuit of an unattainable love. Knights would express their love through poetry, songs, and elaborate gestures. Courtly love was a driving force for knights, inspiring them to excel in their efforts and become better versions of themselves. Furthermore, knights were not only dedicated themselves to courtly love and their kings, they also dedicated themselves to harsh trainings to become highly skilled warriors in the field. They would also spend years mastering a variety of weapons, such as their swords and bows. Their training also included horsemanship and the art of warfare. Knights would participate in tournaments, engaging in mock battles to develop their skills and gain experience. Through their training, knights also learned the ideas of honor and love of war. To sum up, lifestyles of knights were a blend of complete sense of service, the strict commitment for theme of courtly love, and complex training skills. Knights embraced their noble code of conduct, dedicating themselves to service of others and the protection of the weak. Also, the theme of courtly love added made them gain a different perspective for romance and inspiration to their lives, making them better individuals. In addition, we can see historical drawings that tells us about chivalry traditions. In the top left picture, there are two knights fighting each other through a mug war. On the top right picture, we can see a description of knights whose shield has a description of how knights should live their lives. In the remaining two pictures, there are examples of courtly love and how important it is for knights.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about the effects of chivalry in the Middle Ages. Chivalry has been an important culture and way of life in Europe and has had a profound influence in many areas. One of them is etiquette and courtesy, and the other is literature and legends. In these two separate chapters, I'll explain what this noble profession of the Middle Age did. In this way, I'm willing to make you understand the effects of chivalry in the Middle Ages. Let's start with the subject of the etiquette and courtesy. In the Middle Ages, chivalry was of great importance in terms of etiquette and courtesy. Chivalries followed a special code of conduct and attached a great importance to good manners in order to gain respect and set an example in society. I can give you some examples by examining it in terms of this subject. For example, the chivalries were pioneers in showing special respect to women. Protecting women, showing devotion to them, and displaying courtesy were essential parts of chivalric morality. For example, it was common for a knight to be a bearer for a woman, assist her, or take off his hat to show respect. Another example is on hospitality. Chivalries considered hospitality a sacred duty. Hospitality was one of the important values of a knight, and he took care to serve his guests in the best way possible. For example, in the palaces of chivalries and nobles, it was important to provide comfort, welcome, and care for visitors. They also took on the responsibility of protecting and helping the needy, the elderly, the sick, and the vulnerable. These examples illustrate the chivalry's leading role in etiquette and courtesy. In order to gain respect in the society, the chivalries were committed to these values and set an example for other peoples. Etiquette and courtesy formed the basis of chivalry culture and played an important role in maintaining order in society. Chivalry is also closely related to literature and legend. Knight tales are central to the medieval literature and legends. In these stories, the knight's courage, loyalty, love, and battle skills are important. Many famous legends describe the duties of chivalry to seek sacred objects, fight injustice, and represent noble ideals. These legends reinforce the influence of chivalry, reflecting the collective imagination of society and chivalry ideals. The legend of King Arthur is one of the most famous and impressive works of medieval literature. This legend tells of the adventures and noble ideals of the knights at the round table under King Arthur. King Arthur teaches the knights honesty, courage, and loyalty, and he encourages them to defend justice. This legend had a great impact on medieval society, depicting the heroism, love, and noble ideals of the knights. In addition, there are epics that will contribute to the interest and admiration of the society, such as the famous epic La Chanson de Roland. However, there are also many novels in which chivalry is glorified and described. The knightly novels, popular in the Middle Ages, describe the adventures and romantic relationships of knights. For example, novels like Lancelot or Tristan and Isolde represent knights' love, patience, and sacrifice. These novels portray chivalry in a romantic way, making it an idealized lifestyle of society. These examples show the influence of chivalry through literature and legends. The legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table influenced the noble ideals of the knights and the imagination of society. Knight epics and novels, on the other hand, have increased the popularity of knighthood by telling the adventures and loves of knights. Literature and legends have strongly placed chivalry in the collective consciousness of society. Chivalry extended its social influence in medieval Europe through manners, etiquette, courtesy, literature, and legends. The knightly ideals shaped the values of society, determined the standards of behavior, and became a lifestyle that people idealized. Although these influences began to change towards the end of the Middle Ages, it reminds us of the knight as a romantic symbol even today. It was a summary that I explained briefly. Chivalry culture has played an important role in European history and deeply influenced the values of society. Thank you for listening.